So the greatest recipe on the planet, wait one moment. 1, 2, 3, action. Scrambled tofu in the place of scrambled eggs. Not that there's anything wrong with eggs. It's just a point of difference. So I'm using really basic ingredients. And that's the whole thing with this, right? I'm really acknowledging that the shopping list is massive and it's just, you know, there's a lot. So let's just get to these really incredible ingredients that have so much to offer the body. Pan on first. I'm using a wok. I love using this and I like to get it really high heat. It's super important. And the next thing is some red onion and just slice thinly. And I do want a little bit of heat in that, so I've got a little bit of a green chilli. You don't have to, it's up to you how you feel about this, but it just brings a lot of great flavour to the mix, to be honest. And you can take the seeds out, so they're I'm choosing a yellow capsicum today because it's milder in flavour. And I just want little dice, just like the chilli here. Which will be about now. And we're done. I've got some gorgeous little cherry tomatoes, they're so cute. I'm just going to take them off the vine. Just want a handful of them. And I've got some basil leaves. And I've got some rocket and some tofu. And I've got firm tofu. So, this is what we're going to do. Into that nice hot wok here, because it's been heating while I've been chopping, I'm going to have a good splash of olive oil and just allow the oil to go around the pan, and you can use coconut oil if you like, and in goes the onions along with the chilli. And this is where the onions start to get into our eyes, but just hang in there. And then I'm going to add salt and pepper. Now notice how my salt is right next to me and my pepper is right next to me. When you're going to do something in the kitchen, always try, I'm going to move away from that because it's actually going to hurt my eyes. When you're going to cook in the kitchen, it's always really cool to just really acknowledge where everything is. And so a lot of people say to me, oh, you don't understand, plant-based eating is really hard, it takes time, and you know, we have all the excuses in the world, but I'm showing you every recipe to set yourself up first, to have everything ready, and then have ease and flow. And then you can start to have the techniques and the skills of understanding heat, of understanding things like when they're burning, when they're browning too fast, or when they're not cooking, you know, long enough. And it's just kind of leaning back and watching. And I know my stove. I know where the heat comes from. And it's not because I'm a chef, it's because I'm cooking with this stove constantly and I can see what's happening and I can see it's browning just over here. So I know that that's browning on that corner, so I'm going to turn my pan around, stir that. Oh man, these onions are really potent. And I'm going to lean back again and just watch. And that's the whole thing. That's how we roll. And it's really that simple. And as that is cooking, I'm going to just prepare my basil leaves while I'm acknowledging the pan or the wok. And I don't want to chop anything up here with my basil leaves. They're fine as they are. And I've got some lovely rocket. And I'm just going to take those woody stems off my rocket and straight into the compost bin. And I'm just going to slice that rocket in half and just sit that like that. And as I'm doing this, I'm acknowledging, and I can smell that. I'm going to give that another stir. That's where all the flavour comes from, is in these onions. Next, I'm going to add the yellow capsicum. And then I'm going to add my tofu. And this is a good, let me get my scales, show you how much this is. This is going to carry me through till tomorrow as well. 300 gram block of hard tofu. And what I'm going to do is just grab a little bit like this and just squish it through my fingers into here. Now, if you're not a fan of using fingers, put it into a bowl, get a fork, and mash it up with a fork. I'm just sitting it onto the yellow capsicum and those delicious melting onions that are on the bottom. Oh my God, I'm salivating. It's so good. And I want this to be a bit yellow, so I'm going to add some turmeric, which gives it just that yellow colour, kind of looking like eggs. Just a little, just around 1/4 teaspoon. Time to taste it, just to see where we're at, and you can kind of see the colour and the texture. Looks like eggs, right? It's kind of strange. Yum. Now, to really give it that eggy flavour, this is completely up to you, but I have some on tap here, is I'm going to use some black salt, which is just incredibly delicious. It smells like sulfur. It smells like egg. It's unbelievable. I'm just going to grate a little bit into here. And when I mean a little bit, I'm probably talking 1/4 teaspoon. Oh, now I can smell that sulfur coming through. It's looking perfect. I'm going to turn my heat down to a low heat. I'm going to add my basil in, just ripping like this. Cutting my tomatoes into half and just putting them into the pan. Really that simple. We are done. We are so done. Have a look at that. Oh, yum. This is where my Lighten UP Loaf comes into play. And a couple of slices of that. Nice big heap. Spoon of the scramble. Perfect amount, thank you, Cynthia. I've got some balsamic glaze that I just happen to have in my kitchen. It's quite a lot of rocket, but it just brings it home, it really does. A little bit of olive oil just makes things delicious. I'm going to season this rocket with a little bit of salt and pepper. Just a little. I have that at the end of my plate. And then my balsamic glaze. Bit of balsamic glaze just dribbling down. That is my Saturday breakfast. Oh, look at it. And that I'm going to keep for tomorrow. Or I might even have it for lunch. Or I'm going to keep it till Monday. That's the beauty of this food. It just lasts and it is amazing. So enjoy this beautiful day. Know that you're supported and you was taken care of.